Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you've been keeping up with the channel, especially on the predator hunting side of things, you know that I made a change in the AR-10 platform that I have been running. We ran for probably the last 2 or 3 years. We were running Rock River Arms 243. Guffey is still running the 6.5 Creedmoor from Rock River Arms. Fantastic guns, fantastic weapons, can't say enough about them. During the course of the season last year, I actually made a switch over to a company called NightStalker Precision, and they are a custom rifle builder based out of Virginia. And they do pretty much everything. They do bolt guns, they do AR-15s, they do AR-10s, which is what I've got here. And I worked with them to build a rifle essentially that would fit the needs for my channel and for the type of hunting that we are doing. So basically what you've got is an AR-10 fully carbon fiber 6.5 Creedmoor, one of probably the most beautiful gun that I have in my gun safe. And it's a dang shooter. Now, you guys, like I said earlier, if you've kept up with the channel, you've seen this gun toted all over a bunch of different states last year. A bunch of shooting, a bunch of animals have died at the cause of this rifle here. So I wanted to wait to do an accuracy test review for you guys until I got my thermal scope off of there, because a lot of you guys, if you know thermals, you know that getting the gun to perform grouping wise to its maximum ability is very difficult with a digital thermal scope. So I've got the thermal, I've got the pulsar off of this bad boy now. I've got it topped with an Athlon Aris ETR, which is a 4.5 by 30 by 56 millimeter. So paired absolutely beautifully with this rifle. And we're gonna sling some bullets downrange and see what kind of groupings we can get out of it. I'm super excited too, because we're going to be testing out some ammunition by 1776 ammo. These are the 6.5 Creedmoors, and they are loaded with the 95 grain Hornady VMAX. And the reason that I'm excited about testing this out is because this is the exact bullet that you have seen us using, or seen me using over the past season out of this rifle. I've been using mainly the Hornadys, which is loaded by Hornady, but I'm super excited to test out the 1776 lineup of this bullet, because I think that their quality control is going to be really, really good, and I think that the variance between round to round is going to be fantastic. They were kind enough to send out this 100 pack of the Hornady 6.5 95 grain VMAX. I've got 20 loaded up in the magazine now, ready to rock and roll. I've not shot this gun with this bullet yet. I just put the scope on here and I just bore sighted it. So the first couple rounds are going to be at the dead center target. We're just going to walk it over, get it to where it's relatively close to the bullseye, and then we've got 4 individual targets on the top corners and bottom corners of the target, and we're going to see what type of groupings we can get out of this AR-10 platform. AR-10s have an aura around them of not being as accurate as bolt rifles. And I just want to put that to the test. I've got several bolt guns in there in my gun safe that are half MOA guns all day, every day. A Springfield Armory 308's fantastic shooting gun. I've got a Bergara 308 in there that's a fantastic shooting gun. I've also got a Bergara 6.5 Creedmoor that's a really good shooting gun. So really want to just kind of compare and see what I can get group wise out of this rifle. So a little bit about the build. It's done up with all smoke composite furniture, which is super nice. It's got a Proof Research carbon fiber barrel in there, which is really, really nice. And the internals are all custom internals. Receiver is actually manufactured by Grey Ghost Precision. So super excited to put this thing on paper and let you guys actually see it. On the front of it, we are using a brand new Silencer Co. Omega 300. Made a change to the Omegas over the summertime, and I've just now started kind of dabbling with putting some rounds through it, so I'm really excited to be shooting it. But gonna be a cool day. NightStalker Precision, 1776 ammo, Athlon optic scope, Omega 300 silencer. Let's sling some bullets down the range and see what kind of groups we can get. Forgot to mention too that we are shooting off of the Athlon Optics tripod. This is a super nice full carbon fiber 40mm legs. Comes with a ball head, just a super all around bad little tripod, and super excited to be shooting off of it. So let's see what we can do. So we do not have a round in. If you do not like that sound right there, then you've got the wrong dang channel. I've got two different camera angles, so somewhere in one of these corners there's going to be a photo of this target coming up, trying to make things a little bit better for you guys. So let's go. First 1, 2, or 3 rounds are probably just going to be making some micro adjustments from the bore sighting, and just walking this thing over to the bullseye to try to get it dialed in, and then we'll go over to our groupings. So first round downrange, let's see what we can do. All right, so we hit about 1, 2, 3, 4 inches low. So we're gonna go right there, and then we hit about 1 inch to the left. So we're gonna go to the right about 1 inch. All right. Good old folks waving at me as I'm going by. So next round, let's see what happened here, fellas. Bullseye. So we're in the red. I want to shoot one more just to see where we're at. Touching bullseye as well. Okay, so I feel like that's a pretty good control for us right there. Got one. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm not gonna make any adjustments. So three rounds through the gun. The bullet should be good and warmed up. Let's go ahead and go to that top left. Let's go to the top left diamond. And I'm gonna do my dangdest to take my time right here. And again, we're not shooting prone, we're not shooting off bags, we're just shooting off of a tripod, which I love practicing like this because a lot of hunting and shooting situations, this is what you find yourself doing versus laying prone or on bags or in a lead sled. I like practicing this way and just seeing what kind of groups I'm capable of. So top left diamond, let's see what we can do. All right, so right edge, good up and down wise, or just the right edge of it. Let's go one more. Good. Hole's not quite touching, looks like they're probably 3/4 of an inch. So that's definitely not an inch. I mean, they're fitting inside one of those squares right there, so that's probably 0.75, 0.85 MOA on them 2 shots. Let's go one more. Let's go one more shot, and then we're gonna let the barrel cool down. Hole in hole, baby. Hole in dang hole. So that right there is definitely gonna be a sub MOA rifle. Wow. I'm gonna shoot one more. Let's go one more there, just because I want to see. I probably should stop, but we'll go one more round, and we're going to barrel cool. Touching there. So that first one probably could have been me pulling a little bit. Those last 3 holes are basically touching. That's definitely going to be around 0.75 MOA out of this gun, with a 1776 ammo too, which is a big deal. So let's give this barrel a little bit of time to cool, and the suppressor a little bit of time to cool, and we'll shoot a couple more rounds down it. We have let the barrel cool. That's the one good thing that I really like about cloudy days in the summer for doing gun reviews is it seems like your barrel cools off just so much faster than when you're out here in the blazing sun. And plus, I'm a little fluffy, so I enjoy the cloud cover days, which is why we're out here filming, repping out some videos for you guys. So last grouping, very thrilled with it. I think that first one, you know, the first one and the last one are basically on opposite sides of one another, but the two in the middle are touching, and the last 3 holes are basically touching. Little bit of a gap between the number 3 and the number 4 shot. So let's head on over to the top right corner, and let's see what kind of groups we can get out of this bad boy. Okay, pretty much dead on. We're tracking about a ½ inch high. I'm not going to make that adjustment because we're mainly just shooting groups here. And again, this scope is not going to stay on this rifle because this is my nighttime hunting rig. So let's see what we got here now. So hole touching. Not quite hole in hole, but they're barely touching. That right there's about it's probably half MOA, maybe 0.6, 0.65. Let's go one more shot. Hole in hole. So that right there is a solid. I'm not going to say that it's 0.5 MOA, but it is freaking close. Obviously, I need to get down there and measure it. We need to start to let this suppressor cool off just a touch more, because getting a little bit of a mirage around it. But that right there is fantastic, guys. Hole 1, 2, and 3 shots, hole in hole. Number 1 is practically touching the number 2 and number 3 shots. Unbelievable. And once we get this thing cooled off, we'll shoot 2 more groupings, and then we'll let you guys take a look at this target. Right, all right. So 2 groups down and 2 more to go. If you guys have never used one of these Athlon optic scopes, you guys are missing out. This is a one of my favorite pieces of glass that I've got, and I really use it to bounce around from rifle to rifle, especially when I'm working on, you know, really testing the accuracy of rifles and seeing what they're capable of. This is probably my go-to scope for precision shooting. So bottom left corner, let's go three shot group. Come on, Blake, don't mess this up, because we're tracking pretty good right now. I want to show you guys a really good grouping. So bottom left corner. All right, so pulled that one. Pulled. It's on me. Dadgummit, Blake. All right, here we go. Settle back in. Okay, so still kind of close to that last hole, but not quite bullseye like we were doing on the last ones. One more shot. Well, hole in hole. So I bet that barrel cooled off. It's still 2 holes touching and 1 relatively close. You know, not crazy far. That right there could have been a problem. I had my clamp on my AR or my connection to my tripod to my gun on my Arca was a little loose, so that could have been affecting it just a little bit. So 3-round group there. Let's go ahead and go bottom right. I think the barrel's cool enough that we can make this happen. So let's go ahead and do another 3-round group. See what we got going on, guys. Okay. So basically same spot as the other ones. Almost tracking a little to the left here, starting to walk on us. But let's see what we got. So hole and hole. One more shot. See what it'll do. So that one was a little off. So you can see more than likely the carbon barrel, which this is notorious for the carbon barrels wanting to somewhat open up a little bit the more rounds you shoot through there. I thought that I'd let the barrel cool enough, but maybe I didn't. But you can see that, which I mean, it's still not terrible. I mean, it just sucks at that one. Let's shoot one more. Let's shoot one more just to make sure that it wasn't me that pulled on that last shot. Because those first two were touching. So let's see what we can do here. That's more better. That's more better. I must have pulled. Usually I feel myself if I pull, but I thought that was a little wild that that one was flying that bad. So basically, yeah, I'm going to say that that's, those last two groups are probably, the third group is probably close to MOA. Should have been a little bit better. That last group is probably slightly below MOA. Probably closer to 0.8. 0.7, something like that, and then the second group is the best group for sure. So you gotta freaking love that. Let's go get this target. Let you guys take a look at it. Well, what a daggum awesome little deal. Let's go ahead and get this action clear here. So gun is clear. Let's put this right here. I want you guys to really just take in what this rifle is capable of doing on an AR-10 platform. And again, I want you guys to keep in mind that we're not shooting prone, we're not shooting from a bench, we are shooting from a Athlon tripod in a seated position, really wanting to replicate a hunting situation, like if you're sitting in a deer stand or maybe you're coyote hunting or whatever the case may be, really just trying to replicate that. And the first grouping that we did, the first shot to the right, this is on the top left diamond, the first shot was slightly to the right, followed by two shots that are basically touching. So you mean just cut a big section out of that diamond. I shot a fourth shot just because those last, the number 2 and the number 3 were so good, and that fourth shot is all but touching the number 2 and the number 3 shots. So that is a very, very good, very, very good grouping out of that 95 grain VMAX from 1776 ammo, which this is what we are coyote hunting with now. It is a deadly, deadly round. So I'm glad to see some accuracy coming from 1776 ammunition. Hopefully we can do some more work with 1776 ammunition going into the future. Would like to, you know, especially now that I see that this gun is shooting their bullet very well. Maybe we can incorporate this into our entire coyote hunting arsenal going forward. Group number 2 in the top right corner, 3 shots. This is probably the best. It's arguably the best 3-shot group if you don't count the first group with the flyer over to the right. Probably the 2, 3, and 4 shots of the first group are better than what the 1, 2, and 3 shots are of the second grouping. But of just a flat three round groups, this is the best one that we've got. And again, you are 100% sub MOA right there. 2 bullets touching, 1 right there. You're going to be closer to that 0.75 MOA, I believe. And I'm actually going to get, this is just me shooting from the hip. I'm actually going to cut in towards the end of this. I'll put a tape measure down on this, and you can actually see what those dimensions are. And it might actually be a lot better of a grouping than what I'm thinking. Down on the bottom left, I think that what we found is that the barrel started to I ain't gonna say it started to somewhat heat up, which you can see that even on the first 1 and 2 groups, we were still wanting to hang on that left edge of that diamond, probably a 1/4 of an inch off. And then as we got down here, those groupings started to kind of float to the left, which if you've never hunted with a carbon fiber rifle or shot a carbon fiber rifle, a lot of times when you start putting a lot of rounds through them and that barrel gets real hot, you will see that barrel start to gradually walk in one direction or the other, and it's continuous. The hotter it gets, the more that it wants to walk. But again, we're talking about rapid fire shooting, which is kind of what we were doing here. I know you guys couldn't really tell what the breaks were in between, but basically we were giving it 2 to 3 minutes in between and then starting to shoot. And you can see that trend down there. But the groupings is what I want to notice. The groupings are still holding true to what this rifle is capable of. Down on the number 3 grouping, I can't remember. I need to go back and watch and see if that was if I shot 4 times there or if I shot only 3 times. But again, you're still knocking on the door of that sub MOA there. And then on the number 4 groupings, I had the one shot that was to the left. I shot again and shot down at the bottom and shot a 3rd time and put hole in hole, and I shot a 4th time just because I didn't feel myself pull on that number 2 shot where it went way down low, but I wanted to put another round in there just to verify to see where it was at, and of course it was me that pulled. So the number 1, the number 3, and the number 4 shots of grouping number 4 is definitely going to be sub MOA. You're going to be looking probably around that 0.75 range, which is a very big deal. That is a fantastic grouping right there. And again, these groups may be better than that. I'm kind of high shooting it because until I go get a tape measure. But man, what a fantastic round of shooting out of an AR-10 6.5 Creedmoor. And I want to make mention too that this gun, in my opinion, a 6.5 Creedmoor with the twist ratios that you see out on the market is more designed for a heavier bullet, like your 129 grain bullets. I do not believe that they are set up specifically to shoot a lighter round like this 95 grain VMAX. So it makes me very, very happy whenever I see a 6.5 Creedmoor, which you typically think of long range shooting and shooting a little heavier, flatter shooting bullet, to handle those lighter, super fast bullets. I wish I had a chronograph that I could chrono these rounds out of. The actual Hornady VMAX is claiming that they're getting about 3,300 foot per second with the 95 grain VMAX. The Federal 95 grain VMAX is claiming the exact same thing. I think 1776 actually did some legitimate chronos on these bullets, and it's slightly less than the 3,300. You're floating around that, I want to say that 3,100, 3,150, 3,200 foot per second approximately, which is more than likely what you're going to be seeing out of the Hornadys and the Federals as well. All those guys are typically, they're going to chrono slightly lower than what they're advertising on the box, because that box is best case scenario, 24, 26 inch barrel, everything done upright in the right conditions. That's the speed that they're getting. So really fantastic that you're getting the groups out of this rifle with this ammo setup, because that is what I intend to be coyote hunting with this coming fall and winter. Really enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you are in the market looking for a fully customized AR-10 bolt gun, AR-15, whatever it may be, reach out to NightStalker Precision. Mark is the owner there. Super nice guy, very knowledgeable. He's going to help you out and basically help you build the rifle that you are looking for. You do not have to go as fancy as what this is. I would say that this is more of their flagship style AR-10 platform with all of the carbon fiber components, the JP internals, the big, the super nice diamond trigger. This is their flagship. This is kind of their top of the line deal. This is what they're known for. But maybe you want to go in and maybe you want just your typical steel barrel. You want a fluted steel barrel, and maybe you don't need all the carbon fiber stuff. He can do that for you. So reach out to him, let you know you watched the video on Southern Extreme TV. Let him know that you've seen this, and he'll know if you want this exact gun. Call him up and tell him, hey, I want the gun that I seen on Southern Extreme TV, because I seen him shoot that 6.5 Creedmoor. It shot well, and you guys probably think you're a better shot than I am, and you probably are a better shot than me, so you could probably get these groupings a lot better than what I can get them. So this gun's probably capable of doing better. But what a cool video. Means the world that y'all are hanging out with me. If you have any questions whatsoever, drop a comment down below. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And if I don't know the answer, I'll do some research to try to help out any way I can. But that's it for today's video. Hit that subscribe button. We are trying to grow this thing to 100,000 subscribers. So every click gets me one step closer, and it means the absolute world to me. I will see you on the next episode.